ready.
Go live. There we go. I hit it. We're live.
You pressed the button. Mr. Stewart, da 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 da.
Indeed. So, hi guys. Welcome back.
Hi, Stuart.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Yes, Dr. Stewart, yes. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's been quite a while since we've talked about this topic. A long old time.
A long road getting from there to here.
That's also today, yes.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about Discovery Season 4 and what we can expect. What we want to expect. 10 things we want to see. That's more like it. God damn it, Stuart. I've had a really bad day, a bad couple of days, and I've been busting my ass all day today, so just got out of the shower. So, hi.
So, super chat to get well soon for Stuart's sanity.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you're on a sort of mini holiday break.
Yeah,
At least an out of the house break. Not the best necessary time to do it, but
yeah,
a mental reset. I know I certainly had that when I went to Canada. Oh, well, no, you're in Canada. Scotland. Pretty different.
there you go. There you go.
Pretty different.
All right, guys, hit like, you know the routine. What's
Yeah.
up?
No, I just interested to get started because this is a full top 10 formula. So we each have a list of 10 things, which I assume are in order, given you normally say if they're not. Okay, cool. We'll discuss it in a minute, but yeah, we'll see if we line up, how we line up. We'll both have our own personal preferences, obviously, but obviously we talked about it in depth for 14 weeks, so we know each other's thoughts. Except we had to sort of remember where we went and how we went and etc.
Didn't go 100% serious with my list. There's one or two things that are just kind of jokey things, but I mean,
yeah,
it'll make it lively and interesting.
I mean, I think they're all serious in the sense you'd like to see them all, just varying degrees of. I mean, that's yeah, because there's definitely macro and micro things you would want to see. Certainly. So I'll start sharing though, because I want to see when we get people in. It's going to be interesting. I think it was an interesting one, and we are going to do this for each of the new shows. So if you enjoyed this, it should be a fun little mini series of these lives.
Yes.
See you in a minute.
All right. While he shares, guys, hit that like button. We have 57 people here and 37 likes. Let's get up to 50 likes. That's only 12 more likes, guys. We can do it now because it's 38. My math wasn't wrong. Just trust me. Anyway, so hit that like button. Don't forget to, if you can, super chat as Eugene and Area 51 have done here. That's awesome. It helps support the channel. It gets your comment read or your question answered. You can comment anything you want with the super chats, good or bad. The bad will, in the regular chat, may be dealt with by moderators if it's just constant, vitriol. I get it. A lot of people don't like Discovery. That's fine. We're not the hugest fans of it ourselves, but we do like a lot of aspects of it because it is still Star Trek. So, but if you want to super chat something, we'll read it and it supports the channel. You can also join the channel. Make sure you're subscribed, obviously. Make sure the subscribe button is hit and all that jazz. And there's a join button as well. You can join the channel at the rank of Captain, or Commander, Captain, Admiral, Fleet Admiral, and Federation President. We have a bunch of different members, which is amazing. So if you're able to do that, please do. Got a glitchy camera again, so I might have to unplug it when Samuel gets back. So you can also send a PayPal to trekyards@hotmail.com. Just let us know via the regular chat that you sent the PayPal, and we will read the comment or question via the email. If you hear a background noise on my microphone, it is because we had a flooded basement, and we still have the fans and the dehumidifier and heater down there drying everything up right now. So nothing I can do about the sound, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. So yeah, you can also check out our Teespring store and our TeePublic store. The links are in the description down below. If you should choose to do so, please do so. We got some really cool Trekyards merchandise that helps the channel as well. We have 50 likes now, and now I want to get to 100 likes. So we have 65 people here. Let's start that road to 100 likes. Hit that like button, guys. And I'll try to fix my camera as soon as Samuel comes back. So, Raj asked if anybody's been binge watching Star Trek because of the 20th. I mean, some people probably are. I haven't been. Samuel, I'm going to unplug my camera because it's glitchy again. We'll see if we can get that fixed.
Alrighty.
So, yeah.
Alright. But yes, Discovery Season 3. And yes, Raj, we watched it the day it came out and we talked about it a little bit. No, I busy doing other Trek content. Besides, to be fair, there isn't that many Enterprise episodes I'd watch for pure enjoyment. Like, pure enjoyment.
There's a few, though.
There's a few, though. But I've often seen those more, so... Yeah. I mean, I'd be down to do... Like, I'm excited for when we do a full review rewatch, then we can truly see how it stands up. But, you know, not many I would say, let's go back and watch that one, for fun. But
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Things, the good ones you tend to remember more. And when I remember something too much, I can't enjoy rewatching it in the same way. Because I'm knowing, you know?
Area 51, though, throws in $5, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
How about we see actual character development with the bridge crew? I mean, that would be nice. It might be on one of our lists. Who knows? Bryce and Reese, let's see them, you know, have more than 2 lines of dialogue. Would be great.
But they obviously said that explicitly they're getting more time in Season 3, and they didn't explicitly get more time in Season... I mean, well, no, they did get more time, but more from very little is not an improvement.
Yes.
It's like when you give NHS pay staff a 0.1% pay rise. It's a pay rise. It's also a slap in the face. Getting 5 more lines in the season is no improvement. Sorry, guys.
Still working on my camera here, so.
Yes. Not a problem I've had for a while, but, you know, makes sense it would go a bit wonky when...
everything got moved around.
Everything got moved around. It's just house in general got wonky.
Yeah. Maybe that's done it.
Huh.
Alright, so there we go. There, that might work. Hopefully. Keep an eye on it. So Eugene throws in 2,000 rubles, so thank you very much, Eugene. Wow. I want to see smarter budgeting. No more 3.5 polygon ships, because all budget gone into insane tardigrade space. P.S. Have you heard about the Babylon 5 reboot? Yes. Yes, we have. I haven't.
Just came out like half an hour ago.
Yeah. I
just put a poll up. I don't think this is going to be a very hard one, but I did put a poll. I would love to absolutely see. Is a poll, do you enjoy Discovery Season 1, 2 or 3 the most? Very direct, very simple. We've all got personal preference, you know. So, good thing.
All right. So Wouter215 throws in 10 euros. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Top things I want to see. Number 1, Trekyards episode on Disco episodes. Yes. More ships. Yes. Better writing. Yes. Trekyards episodes on point 2. More ships. Yes. Hope your basement is fixed soon, Captain Hitler. Thank you very much. I hope it is too.
Although I think...
Oh, sorry. Just talked to the insurance adjusters today and the head insurance guy, and I don't know, we're looking at least a couple of weeks. Could be mid-November, so it's going to suck. And if I disappear, I'm trying to fix this camera, so I'll be back, but I'll still be here and I can hear you and talk and stuff. So.
Do you think it's fair to say, though, based on the amount of damage that was done, you're more rebooting your basement than repairing it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's getting refitted.
Yes. Raj, go to the last. We talked about the last review. Go back and check. So currently we've got 50 votes for which season Discovery do you enjoy most. 8% for season 1, 20% for season 2, 73% season 3. Guys, I would love to see 100 people vote, and I might keep this up for the entire thing because I'm really interested. I think it's a slam dunk, and currently so do you. But without your voices to fill up the poll, we can't. Nope. Don't hit your computer that hard. So, tell me, Stuart.
Yes.
How tricky was this list to create? Because we always kind of go through that.
I thought it would be tricky, but the guys were doing their thing. I didn't think I'd have a chance to do it, actually. The guys were doing their thing, and I was kind of like making notes on my phone.
Yeah.
And then when I got the pictures, that's when I organized or ordered them. but a few things popped into my head instantly, and I'm like, oh yeah. And then I had to do some shuffling because I thought of some other stuff as I was getting the pictures and stuff as well. So, but yeah, it was pretty easy actually. There's a few things we definitely want to know the answers to. So, I'm looking forward to hearing your list for sure. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, for me it was very much a bit of reshuffle. I actually scrolled through the entire season.
Wow.
Literally, just because I was like, I there's so much, I don't want to miss anything. I knew certain things would represent other things in the season better, etc. So I did go through the entire season. Some of the stuff is kind of grand in concept, some of it is very mini. I'm really interested to see how we're going to diverge because we do look for different things.
Are there any jokey ones on your end?
Probably. I think
Okay.
that'll be up to, that'll be up to audience interpretation. Oh, see, by voting, it went down 1% in season 3. So keep voting, guys. So, do you go first, George? Shall I go first for the top 10?
I don't know. We should flip a coin or something.
Okay.
We'll ask the audience. What do they think should go first?
I do have a coin.
First answer gets it.
Oh, okay. First answer. Yeah. So who goes first, Stuart or me? The power is in your hands. Who's got the phone? It's like when they say the first few people to get a coupon code get it. It's like, but the video got 10,000 views. So that means nobody got it because the first. What's the point of that? The first 4 minutes, everyone got it. What's the point of that?
Well, Kyle Wong, in the meantime, while we're figuring out who goes first, puts in 20 pounds. So thank you so much.
Boom.
Discovery answers a distress call, and upon arrival, they see a ship under siege by pirates. Discovery fight off the pirates and board the ship in distress, only to find a baby with green skin and big ears in a crib.
Okay. Green screen and big ears.
A Ryan version of Dumbo? I don't know.
Yeah, that was very specific and yet super uninformative. I mean, that sounds cool though. I mean, I like the idea of Discovery jumping in and saving people. That's great.
Well, Mario says Cap goes first. So
there we go. Mario wins. Okay. So, Captain Stuart Foley of Trekyards. Let me just swap the OBS over and then. All right, I have not seen this. So, what is your number 10?
Number 10 is the Tribbles. I want to see Tribbles, and I want to see if they've evolved with feet and arms and legs and eyes and mouths, and are they sentient now? Tribbles. Okay. This is just a joke one. This is just one I threw in. My actual answer for this one, even though I don't have a picture for it, is close the goddamn shuttle bay door. I want to see a closed shuttle bay door in season 3. 4. When is season 4 now? So
I mean,
4. There you go.
But
the Tribbles, what happened in the Tribbles? Are they still on their planet? Have they spread galaxy-wide now? Because, and have they evolved in 900 years? This is more. I want to see a Tribble crew member.
Yeah.
Rolling through the halls, stops, pops up on little legs. Hello. And then keeps rolling. That'd be kind of neat.
Have you seen Shang-Chi yet?
No.
Okay. Well, anyone that has will understand they kind of have an evolved Tribble.
Oh, well, there you go.
Not really, but as soon as you said that, I was like, ooh. That's interesting. That's real interesting. Well, I mean, obviously Discovery...
It's more of a joke.
Sure, but it's a story you can easily tell. Almost a simplistic, even though the exact same as fun. But they kind of did their own weird Discovery thing with them anyway, but also TNG canon still overrides that, because they saw them later, etc. Maybe they've said Tribbles have been extinct for 500 years, but the Tribbles are the key to solving this new pandemic. Wait, what? And so they have to send they have to use. Imagine this. They have to use a Guardian forever. They have to find what's his name, Carl. They have to find Carl again to go back into the past, back to Trials and Tribulations again. Now you have Michael Burnham inside the DS9 episode, Trials and Tribulations, inside of the TOS episode, and so you see Michael Burnham walk past Avery Brooks and Terry. That would be fantastic because you could double down the fake green screen. That would be fantastic.
Well, Area 51 says, didn't Worf say the Klingons wiped them all out? Well, of course he would. That's what the Klingons would want everybody to think. There's no way you're going to get all the Tribbles that were on every ship, every planet, every household. So no.
Well,
and Kyle Wong is yelling at us saying, "You're missing the joke." Yes, we are missing the joke.
Yes.
Please fill us in.
It was too funny to catch. But you missed, and the commenter missed the point of the episode is that, yes, the Klingons wiped them out, but then they made their way through the time fuck up, now Deep Space Nine at the end. So they brought back the Tribbles. Yeah. That was the entire. So there's Tribbles back again.
Yeah.
Worf is not pleased, but I would actually love to see her Burnham walk through Trials and Tribulations. That'd be really great. That'd be. I mean, because things they could rescan the TOS footage to be a bit more high res, even better composing. I'm sure they've got the original DS9 green screen footage. I can do it slightly crisper. That'd be so clever.
Yeah.
Doubling down on it. That'd be great.
Area 51, $2. Number one thing I'd want to see is exploration. Yes, that'd be awesome, actually. But that's what Strange New Worlds is going to be for. Strange New Worlds is going to be our TOS, and this is going to be more like it's Discovery. So, Sergeant Montgomery, $5.
Thank you.
I want to know the energy source behind the Swiss Army comm badge and the 32nd century God weapon. Yes, the energy source.
Well, luckily that God weapon is just currently a phaser. Doesn't do anything particularly cool except, reappear and disappear. So hopefully it's just a phaser and doesn't do a billion cool things.
Yeah.
I mean, comm badges don't need to do, a battery, a very advanced battery. I mean, they don't need to have that much power. I mean, a holo emitter they've had for hundreds of years. Like over five. When tech's been there for over 500 years, it doesn't take as much power as it did originally. And okay, the transporting is fine, but it's more of a charging thing. So it's got a power cell. I mean, we saw the Equinox; they charged their shields from nothing to full. Well, where's the power coming from? Well, it's just building, and then it's a process. It's not just a. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yep.
Okay, Tribbles.
We got one more super chat. Let me know you're number 10. Mark Lawrence throws in $5. I voted in the minority for season 1 because it was Anna's Abdin's story. What? I don't get it.
That's the dude that invented the tardigrade story, which they then in theory stole.
Oh. Gotcha. And Kyle Wong, £5, says, "You're not understanding the sarcasm. They spend the season finding baby, its own people. This is the way."
Oh, that's amazing. We're not on the track there to think that way, but that is fantastic, though.
Thank you, Kyle Wong.
That's great.
All right, so what's your number 10?
My number 10, and I always do these and I always forget, so let's find out what I said. My number 10 is yes, more. And I cheated straight away, but so did you in a sense because you had a fun one. More Linus and Narn returning. So more of those two characters.
Yes.
Because both were standouts in different ways. Narn, when written well, was excellent. When written poorly, was Christly bad. Who the hell says yum yum? Stupid. And Linus was always good. Always fun. And the makeup is phenomenal. So a story where they bring her back for some good reason. Brilliant. And then Linus was given a slightly more... an actual storyline in the show rather than a cut to funny gag. Moving on. So both characters should have more time. But that said, isn't that depressing if I'm saying give the, these random people more over the bridge crew, which in theory should be given the most story. But then arguably Nurse Chapel got more time than Chekhov, so, I mean...
Yeah, well, these people already have more time than the bridge crew, so... But
yeah, both of these people were well done, well cast, well acted. More of them, please.
And Wilder says, is Kyle Wong talking about Shrek? No, it's talking about the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. Grogu.
I like that. That is good.
Yeah, I mean, Linus and Non would have been great to be in Strange New Worlds if she didn't go to the future with them.
Yes.
Would have been nice to see her or stick around, but absolutely, yeah. I like Linus. And yeah, Non just returned to her planet for a while, so hopefully she's wanting to return back. That'd be nice. Kyle Wong, £5. Joking aside, they need their own Baby Yoda moment to rescue the show. Well, they need the Jon Favreau and Filoni team is what they need. They need people that actually really care. But... all right. So now I guess we're on number 9. My number 9 is I want to see Delta Quadrant aliens back. I want to see what happened to some of them. There's so many, especially like species 8472. What's going on with fluidic space? Is there a treaty with them now, or are they part of the Federation? Same with the Hirogen. Like, so many Delta Quadrant species, even the Voth. Like, what are the Voth up to? Have they accepted that the distant origin theory is a thing, and they actually believe that Earth is their home now? In 1,000 years, a lot can happen with scientific, a lot can happen. So maybe that whole, dismissing the distant origin thing is a thing now. So, yeah, I mean, I'd love to see a lot of these, at least hear references or see them in Starfleet, maybe, some of these Delta Quadrant aliens. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, if you want to read Daryl D's comment, it's poignantly targeted us, so...
Love the channel, guys, but if I had my own top 10 list regarding Trekyards, it would be only actually be 2 entries long. What? Me and you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm number 1, though. I'd be the first, right? I know the Undine aren't Delta Quadrant. I understand this list of Jericho, but considering they're brought in
well,
Voyager,
thematically they are.
It. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they were in their own realm, then a Delta Quadrant-centric race brought them in. They only fought in the Delta Quadrant. They've never been to the Alpha Quadrant as far as I know, so I'm close enough.
And Daryl D says, no videos on Lower Decks and no videos on Prodigy. Kids' cartoons do not add to the franchise.
We've done so many videos on both. It's true.
Yeah.
I've mentioned so many.
Doing a lot more, so...
No, this is fantastic, and great examples of races as well, because every single one of them you could radically change organically. The Okampa now have managed to reverse their life cycle. Now there's a 200-year-old Okampa, and how that creates the most powerful telepath in the galaxy. You could do a billion things with that, which would be super fun. And we did see in the world map, or the galaxy map, Kazon mentioned, etc. So, but they've got to be careful with somewhat linking that to Strange New Worlds if they're going to incorporate Prodigy, but not too much because they're so different. But no, that's great. I mean, just having, a Kazon in the background in Starfleet uniform and Starfleet headquarters is enough. And certainly Hirogen would be a great shout.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, there's lots of possibilities for sure. So,
and I can imagine maybe like an envoy, warps in from the Delta Quadrant batch of Starfleet that's still running over there, and it's because obviously humans wouldn't have had access to there for the 100 years, so now it's almost entirely Delta Quadrant races as their Starfleet, and like one old Starfleet lady who's a human, and now it's like super alien based, and it's great. It's like they just beam in, and it's like, oh great, the Delta Quadrant Federation branch is here, and we're like, holy fuck, Discovery, you put so much work in these aliens. Oh my god, it's the Dirty Dozen lineup of aliens. Hey, Trekyards, we're busy this week. Fuck. 19 comparison videos. That'd be, obviously fantastic.
And we would do it.
We would do it. No, that's a... Yeah.
All right, so we're on to your number 9 now.
And guys, keep voting the poll. I want to know by the end.
Oh, yes. Oh, and one more thing. 126 of you here and 92 likes. Ask for 100. We're almost there. I'm going to bump it up to 120 right now. So 120 likes, guys. Hit that like button. So there you go.
Yeah, and Dan says, I know Alex Kurtzman would want to do an Academy show for kids, but I'm not sure if it'd be live action or cartoon. Well, live action, they wanted to do an Academy show for 30 years. So he's not new and doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
If they really want to do it, they'll do it, That's Strange New Worlds. Anyway. My number 9. 8. 8? 9.
9.
9. Oh yeah, because you've got your honorable mention. Right. Is... what do I call him? What's his name? That's not helpful. Cronenberg. Don't remember his character name. And all of his backstory, knowledge, intrigue, information. Kind of summarizing, because, all of his scenes are interesting, and him throwing in all of your information was, universe additional fun that he just knew. So this character is obviously in season 3, we know, filmed quite a bit. Hopefully they have interesting plans for it. We're assuming, offshoot Section 31 style with extra prescient knowledge. But what this character can offer in terms of, almost being a Deus Ex character, oh, you think you've got the power of this? Well, my Dominion tricorder says this. So, knowing things and having the answer to questions. But we never thought we were going to see this level of accurate TNG looking great, and we joked at the time this looked better than the Discovery uniforms, which showed the uniforms actually age very well. This is their worst version, so if you film the newer uniforms properly, they'd look really good. Except when Brent and Patrick wore them, because they're much older and less fit, but they just didn't tailor them as well. I mean, this uniform is much more tight fitting, but this is tailored to perfection. He looks fantastic in it, and you put Brent in a untailored uniform, even though they had time to tailor him. But I guess they don't want to make new versions of the uniform because they're really hard to make. This one's quite easy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just more of Cronenberg, and to be interesting. He's an interesting character for what he could offer.
Yep.
Yeah,
there's so much potential there, and he's such an interesting character. And from what we've seen of him, yes, I want to learn more about him. The fact that he wears glasses 900 years in the future, so they haven't even got the red. Is there a reason for that? Like, he's not allergic to retinax, maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, I think they explicitly said, I think it makes him look smarter. I think George actually called out for that the first time we saw him, so it's just for the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
He must look like an antique if he wears them, because it's such a rare thing to wear glasses that it just makes him feel out of place.
Yeah.
And obviously the suit as well, and the futuristic suit tie.
They can also be super advanced and have lie detector readings inside and the whole dossier
100%.
of the person he's talking to. So.
No, 100% their screens, 100%. Their neural interface computer set systems, absolutely. Wouldn't doubt that for a second. Yeah. But I think he's their answer to the Section 31 guy from DS9 who was called...
Oh, Sloan.
Yeah, but not as menacing. Because vibe-wise, if you turn down the menacing of Sloan, they have a similar sort of prescient knowledge. The more you know about him, the worse it is, give or take. But that kind of ambiguity is good. So, another well-played element.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, well, going to my number 8 now. And I'm sorry I didn't realize this picture was such shitty quality. But anyway, number 8 is... I want to see more Tilly character growth. Well, obviously want to see more Tilly. I love Tilly. But the track she was on with even Saru recognizing, the potential in her, and her basically ratting out Michael for doing what she did, shows a lot of growth on her part. I want to see more of that. I want to see her try to get into being an officer and, striving to do that. I don't know if she'll go for this first officer position because that doesn't make any sense. But I definitely want to see more character development for everybody, honestly, especially the bridge crew. But her specifically, I think they've treated her character right in season 3 with a lot of what they did with her. And if they can keep that up, it'll be interesting if this runs 7 seasons to see how much she's changed from season 1 to season 7. Because already there's been a change. I don't want them to just forget about her, because I think she shows a lot of promise. I'm always for more Tilly, any chance I can get.
I'm intrigued though, and this is a direct question. What purpose do you think she serves in the story and show now, as a role?
Well, she is the best friend of the captain,
Yep.
And roommate, I guess.
Well, hopefully not. They're still in the same room. Captain and Ensign. That's a bit absurd.
Well, yeah, but they got close. They know each other. I assume Burnham trusts her, and so there's that dynamic. Other than that, I don't know. I just think that was something they explored a little bit with them being friends. And I guess Michael Burnham doesn't have many friends, so she does consider Tilly a friend. I think that might influence some decision making on, this Tilly will be the one to talk sense into her when she goes all emotional and off the handle, like Michael Burnham tends to do. Tilly could actually temper her a bit, so it might be helpful in certain situations.
So the kind of the McCoy to Kirk, but without any of the medical background, without the medical stuff.
Yeah. The emotional tempering, I think, is what she would bring to the table. So.
I do remember a scene though. I can't remember where it was in the season where they had a fight saying, "Were we really friends because you didn't trust me?" or something. So they certainly had a rockier thing. And obviously, like you said, she betrayed Burnham's trust, saying where she went.
Yes.
So arguably they're on rockier grounds, but really, greater good. Who cares? They're fine.
I don't think
by
Michael would think that though, because it was for the benefit of the entire crew, so they didn't look bad in front of Admiral Vance and everybody else. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a double-edged sword with that one.
But I know that we had her as the Wunderkind child, but that's been replaced by Adira, so that's out of the way. Not even close intelligence wise. So Tilly is now lower totem pole, which is fine. She was never like really convincing as the brightest bulb in the shed, which is fine. And then she didn't really work as captain because she shouldn't. She's 20 or 30 years too young, which is also fine.
And she didn't have the experience, and it showed immensely.
So that's
the other thing. They didn't OP her. They didn't make her a great captain.
Yeah.
They showed of why you don't throw somebody into the captain's position. You need that tempering of all those years of experience.
So almost you're saying, and this is just so they took her in the avenues that were her original character's potential. She failed in them because the original writers may have tried to go too hard on them, and now they can kind of reboot to a new direction that just fits the character that now is, rather than they wrote originally.
Yeah. There's a lot of potential for her character, especially if she's got. Well, she's on the command track. She did say she wanted to be a captain in season 1. She's been a captain now, and is very, very quickly said, "You can have the captain's chair back. I've learned that I'm not really ready for it." So I love that because, a lot of people are chomping at the bit. I want to be the captain. I want to be the captain.
Oh,
but they don't realize. Yeah, they don't realize all the responsibilities and that entails, plus all of the years of experience that it takes to make decisions that are right for unique situations. So yeah, I think they did it. They did it well with her. From going, I'm going to be a captain one day, to I'm a captain now, but please take the seat back because I don't want to be a captain anymore.
Yep. Because I shouldn't be 23 and a captain. Yes, no, of course you shouldn't. I can imagine that they might take a new direction, whereas Adira kind of comes into the natural ability to work with machines and knowledge of the close by past, as in all his lifetimes of the hasn't got the memories of them, but in theory would do. Maybe Tilly's going to find, maybe at the start of the season she's going to say, I went to the new academy for 6 months and kind of found a new thing in the pantheon of Starfleet tech that I get. So she re-educated on one new discipline that she clicks into. So she comes back with a new scientific understanding that everyone's like, ooh, you get thermotwantic quantum physics for... It's I do! See, that I could see working really well. It's kind of a specialist.
Yeah.
But a new thing. I think you do need to reboot the character again, but it's now the future, They've settled.
Yeah.
She can start again, Burnham is, Saru is, she is, it makes sense.
Yeah. She was kind of a brainiac, as you said, so yeah, maybe there's something in the future that other people might not understand. She can easily get, that'll work, yeah.
She just clicks, because it's a different mindset, obviously, being the past, the present, but yeah. Yeah, nice, okay, cool. Good little discussion there. So my number 8 is... my number 8 is specifically bringing back big story elements from the past series, not specifically The Guardian, but things of this grandiose wonderfulness, and incorporate them in a meaningful way. A la Guardian, a la Doomsday Machine, a la Bajoran Orbs, a la Bajoran Wormhole. Something that's big that they can reintegrate, modernize successfully, and be that's really cool.
Because that was one thing I was going to add to my list, actually. I kind of started thinking along those same lines, but I started out with the whale probe. Find out what that's all about, where that came from. Because we know that the threat they're dealing with in season 4 is going to be this 5 light year across gravitational thing. So there's no real big baddie. It's actually a scientific thing, which is cool.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting if they pull in something like you said, the Doomsday Machine creators or the whale probe or something like that. And so we learn more about that in the contest, which I'd rather almost learn about more than what's going on with the Borg, even though I do want to know what's going on with the Borg at this point.
Well, it's both, but the idea of maybe they stumble upon a whale probe, but they're oh yeah, we've seen these before. We know how to the Cronenbergs on there. It's like, oh yeah, we know how to access the entire inside the ship, and they walk in and they see it's literally an empty sphere with a little box in the middle. Like, oh my god, this is the bit of a, and once you activate it, it like phases into a different dimension or something. Like, you could have really fun with that.
Yeah.
And a jumping off point.
And Matt, yes, I see the super chat. I'll get to it in a second as soon as we're done with Samuel's number 8.
So I think definitely iconic things. This was done well. Still a bit odd, but done well. And especially for them, it was done well. And I mean, even one Bajoran orb would be a powerful, and since they can literally do anything.
Yeah.
Or through the wormhole, but replicate the effect, or the prophets.
Even learn more about the preservers or something as well.
Well, hey, that's brilliant. Yeah, they somehow preserve obelisk. Boom, there's an entire story there. Mm-hmm. So something really big like that, because it's the future, they can do it literally anything in any part of any universe, any timeline. Yeah, I want to see some of that.
Something grandiose. Well, we have 132 people here, which is awesome.
Brilliant.
I'm still aiming for that 120 like goal. We have 109. We need 11 more likes, guys. So, we'll read George Mangram's. It says, puts in $2 and says, I want to see the Cerritos J Mariner class, which is a perfect segue into my number 7.
Ooh.
My number 7 is I want to see the Cerritos V. And the reason I picked V was because I'm sure it get destroyed a hell of a lot more than the J would have, or the Voyager would have to get to the Voyager J. So, just seeing a nice, even in the background, a Cerritos type ship, or seeing the name Cerritos on a listing on a screen would be hilarious, beyond hilarious. Because we know that Lower Decks incorporates and references all other Star Trek. It'd be cool if some of the other Star Trek started pulling Lower Decks stuff in. So yeah, just seeing Cerritos in some way would be awesome.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Yeah, we see one of those big council meetings, and Vought says, "Oh, the Cerritos needs a captain, or needs a training officer," and that'd be a.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, as we keep saying, invent the ships, do a nice design, you sell a miniature, boom. Trekyards talks about it. Not a hard model to make a new version of.
So yeah, this was another jokey one, but I thought it's one of the things that instantly popped into my mind. So, and with the way how referential Lower Decks is, I just want it to be referenced in other stuff. So yeah, I think it'd be cool.
Or like they Vance is giving a briefing to Saru, or I guess Byrne in this case, saying, the Cerritos was the first contact mission team, or second contact, and they found this back in this year. She's like, okay. Yeah. But we're like, oh, yay. And then we cut to a shot of Freeman, and it's like, actually, Tawny Newson in uniform in Discovery Season 3 as a clip. See, that would be clever.
That would be kind of neat to say the Cerritos A found this. It was under Captain Mariner, and it's actually Beckett Mariner. Like, they won't do that, obviously, because you know that's where the character's going if that's the case. But yeah, something like that would be kind of neat.
But I have a live action Mariner for the lols, because that's good. So yeah, that's
I should have picked like the Cerritos BB, because I'm sure it gets destroyed more than 26 times in 900 years.
Oh, God.
But anyway,
the Cerritos Z5 it got destroyed 130 times.
Yeah.
No, that's great. That's such an original choice. I like it. Cool.
Yeah, all right, so that's why I was holding off on George's comment, because it was kind of my next joke. You ruined it, George. So before we get to your number 7, hold on. I got I am Misi throws in $5.
Thank you.
While I think Discovery does a million times better without relying on the crutch of former characters, Odo would still be alive, wouldn't he? Could be, and you can actually cast another actor because it's 900 years. You could have changed, a lot. So
my only thing with that is that, yes, in theory, but to not assume he's not dealt with problems in his life in the 800 years. I could see Odo being killed long before that, just because of being involved in dangerous things. I actually wouldn't want to see Odo alive. I think it would go against his character. He managed to avoid trouble for another 800 years. A changeling, yes. And maybe even a changeling with Odo's memories, because the Great Link shares memories. Maybe even they say, I'm Odo's son, and they're like, what? Oh yeah, we started making new changelings, and like that would be a very good way of having the same sort of effect. And they just get a sort of a Renee-esque actor and just make him be the son. It's not really, but he took the mantle of Odo once, and he shares his memories, and That'd be fun. But
very Trill-like. You can still have like the past Trill kind of experience.
yeah,
So,
I mean, Great Link, you can invent some really neat stuff with that. And I definitely do think, I mean, I guess to piggyback off that, we should see some Dominion stuff. The Changelings as a race should be involved somewhere soon, because they are, if they'd had the Dominion for either 3,000 or 10,000 years, it's only another 900 years in the future. That's a pittance to how big the Dominion was in terms of time frame. The Dominion will still be a thing. They'll still be doing their thing. The Changelings, I mean, the female Changeling is like potentially 10,000 years old. She is still going to be around because they live in their own puddles. I mean, they're not going to leave, are they? You know.
yeah.
So the Changeling should definitely walk in one day and start negotiations, and they're like the full makeup, and like that's a must. And I kind of wish I put them on my list now, because that's already by itself it's such an interesting theory. Stuart,
Yeah.
throw us some goals, super chat, likes, and votes, because we've got a good amount of votes.
Well, we got 147 viewers and 121 likes. We get the 121 or the 120 goal. Let's go for 150 next. So if you haven't hit that like button, hit it, please. We can get to 150 easily. We still have the poll. If you haven't voted on it, it's at the top there. Check that out. And honestly, another, I hate throwing out these numbers, but another $70 would be awesome.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing really good, so thank you so much. General Grievous just threw in $2. I missed the poll option for the final season. Ha 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 ha.
Boo. But
all right.
I will sort the poll at 150 though, so keep voting. 15 more people, and this is a really interesting Vol. Different thing. Vol. 13 more votes needed. Really, really interesting results. I want to put another one up because we never actually had polls for Discovery, and it's such a controversial show. This will be really interesting in our reviews, I think. Throw some things out there.
Yeah. So
Cool.
now we're moving on to Samuel's number 7.
Is seeing pre-burn tech history Starfleet stuff. They threw every chance they could in between uniforms that were pre-burn. I mean, they just designed them. It's like they had, they did 15 sketches for the uniform for the new one. They said, oh, actually, this will be astounding. It gave us God knows how many videos, and this is, a great another uniform, the Proto Advanced uniform with a new combat. Blah. God, so much stuff. But it's so, they did some really good stuff, actually, and considering Season 1, Season 2 was so train wrecks of art design, that's great. They had so many, reasonable home runs. And so I want to see flashbacks to the previous president pre-burn. I want to see the full Federation. I want to see, 5 people in those uniforms doing their thing aboard a ship. I want to see 100 years, 200 years before. I want to see this sort of prehistory. Have a alien that's been in hibernation for 200 years and comes out and it's post-burn, but they don't know what the burn is, and then you see flashbacks them dealing with Starfleet, and you get to see on the view screen another uniform, and it's a full officer, and it's a bridge, and that sort of living history stuff. Not necessarily explore all of it, but because I don't you need to leave the middle bit of that transitional period blank for future stories. But they're at 3100s, right? We know 2900s and 3000s, so they can go about 100, 200 years. But I mean, we'd show the relativity uniforms and this at the same time. That would make sense. Time side and the normal side. Use those 200 years to tell some to add some stories. And I think you'd have to incorporate relativity stuff, which actually would be really exciting.
Well, you said flashbacks, and that's one thing. As soon as you started talking, I thought holodeck as well. Whether it's an important event that happened that somebody's learning about, so they fire up a holodeck program, or Vance shows them. That might be interesting too. So there's lots of possibilities for that, and lots of time that you can cover to kind of get little nuggets of what's going on. So I think that's great.
And the fact that in the past we've not wanted them to mess with canon, the fact that we're now asking for tennis the in-between steps shows how good you did. So good job.
Well, Rich McConville throws in $5.
Thank you.
I'd like to see the crew finding out Pike's fate.
Yeah.
I think some of them already knew going in, though. I think Pike, did he confide in somebody? I think he did, because he saw his future.
I don't think he did. I think that was part of the deal, that you don't do it.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
But also, remember, we are seeing post-Pike. We don't really know his fate, so I don't necessarily want to hear the fate in this show, because they might end up changing it, retconning it.
They can't change it. It has to line up with TOS if it's Prime, right? So
Yes, but no. But they could bring medical tech back to heal him. Or they could have a Telosian like extend the ring, and so he can physically, like Pike could still be in post-Cage stories, just
Yeah.
as long as
Yeah.
they're delusional that he's, you know what I mean. There is still things you could do with that. Just, I mean, come on, they invented a bloody black hole on their planet. They're pretty powerful mind people, and they communicated Vina across the galaxy, so you could still have Pike in, TOS season 4. So I want another definitive fate. And what if the Telosians can keep the body alive indefinitely? Arguably, he could appear in Picard. Obviously, as still a broken man, but as a vision, I would not be opposed to that. It's weird, but you can make it work.
Stephen Mulvey through. New Zealand Corona, probably. Do you have Streamlabs set up? I don't know who he's talking to. I have Streamlabs OBS.
I just have OBS.
But I don't really stream because of connection issues and stuff. So.
Yes. Oh, guys, okay, we're at 150 votes, which is fantastic for a poll. Which season of Discovery did you enjoy most? The official results are Season 1, 12%. Season 2, 26%. And Season 3, 63%. So it literally doubles. 12, double it. That's... What do you think about that, Stuart?
Doesn't surprise me. Our as we've said all along during the reviews, they've improved hand over fist as far as listening to the fans and just doubling down on
the reboots,
doing those course corrections.
Yeah.
So yes, Pike in season 2 introduced Pike, which is a big improvement, and then season 3 did its own thing, which is what it should have done in the beginning and kind of the future. So yeah, we've said season 3 is the best out of all of them all along. So.
And I would say by that margin, potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. Nice. Okay, well, that's great. Thanks for voting. Awesome. That's fun.
All right, so now I go into my number 6.
Yes.
My number 6 is one I didn't think I'd pick, but I'm interested enough to at least mention it. Number 6 is I want to find out what happened to the Borg specifically.
Oh.
We got the 29th century Borg here, so we know that there is 29th century Borg. Did they move on? Are they in the Andromeda set? Like, are they still a threat? I mean, a lot of people said this during our reviews of the last season, and I was pretty adamant that I'm like, I don't want to find out what happened to the Borg because I don't care. But it's one of the things that kept popping in my mind when I was making this list, because I know people are interested in it. It's something that they could definitely use for interesting storylines. So I think bringing the Borg back might be good, depending on how they do it. How do we know this huge gravitational anomaly that they're battling isn't the Borg from somewhere creating a gravitational vortex to bring themselves through time? Or I don't know. It could be a lot of things, but I mean, we have seen 29th century Borg. I want to see 32nd century Borg and see what the deal is with them.
Now, although to briefly clarify for the audience, he isn't a 29th century Borg, he's a 29th century Borg, what could be if the Borg nanoprobes of the 24th century assimilated a 29th century device. So it's a look into what it would have been if the two technologies met. Boom. But so that, and he was impressive, and it's a great, simple, and very powerful, although, a Borg sphere could still defeat him, which is a stupid statement to say because it's a spaceship, but that was one of the things. Yeah, the Borg are interesting because it depends how you want to go. Do you want them to stay the same, and therefore be the same fun value? In which case, why have they not changed? Do you want them to be very different? In which case, you've lost the essence of the Borg. I don't think you can win with this. I could imagine there being like Borg subset. Like a queen went rogue and started her own sub-collective, and they're like Borg purists.
Now there's a segment of Borg that are ruled by a Joker. You got a court jester. You said queen, and
okay,
sorry,
okay, that's
right?
that's
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Prince, and then I'm like, no, that's not funny enough. Sorry. Did you?
Which is an odd concept for sure, But I can imagine the code getting corrupted. So you can still have a like classic Borg vibe with like these 5 sectors have got these giant, normal sized cubes, but they're super dense with neutronium and they're very powerful and they assimilate anyone that comes into their space, and all they want to do is develop technology to make the megaparticle, and they're like super classic Borg. But they, when we talk to them, they have the same Borg voice, but they're a bit more nuanced with, we are the Borg Zero, and then classic Borg, with a
Borg Zero, no calories.
yeah, no Borg Zero, no bullshit, So that you can kind of win with that, but you would think
You got to be very careful what you do with the Borg, though, because like we've even said, we don't really want to know their origins.
No,
We've had a few different versions of that over the years, as far as like manga and like video games go, which is interesting. But it's almost better to have it be a mystery, So.
well, and not just that, but you would think that the Borg and they're a slave coalition. The Federation should stop them at some point. Once you see suffering, these things cause suffering, and if you can reverse the Borg, give Borgifying, as we've done our people for years, there's trillions, hundreds of trillions of lives you could save. So, you should hear about the Great Borg Purge of 2833, when we could fire a beam and it uncollectivized Borg cubes, and we went through, and then Borg, like you said, had to go to a different galaxy, and now we've got different galaxy Borg. That would be interesting. A Borg King came in, or a Borg Emperor.
Borg Emperor, biggest hat. Wenlock says the problem is if you bring the Borg in, you have to relate to how they dealt with the burn. But how do you got 900 years worth of technology that they've been assimilating.
Yeah, not a problem.
They're not going to need goddamn dilithium. They'll have the Federation should have too. That was a real plot point in season 3 that really pissed me off. But
faulty logic, yeah.
Yeah.
The fact they didn't have any other we've seen slipstream, transwarp, no other travel is absurd. That was just a plot hole error, whatever. Yeah, the Borg don't need dilithium. End of. Their transwarp hubs do not have dilithium, and they can activate a transwarp hub and create a conduit to any point in the quadrant. So even if the individual ships can't go FTL, they can still be drawn. They can still be given a network access. So, yeah, the Borg are tricky because in theory they've then got to be as powerful as the 31st century to be able to match. And how do you get more powerful? I guess just better shields. Or maybe you go simple. Maybe you go Borg Dyson Sphere. Maybe the Borg said we've assimilated enough. We found the Omega particle. We made a Dyson Sphere and we stayed in it. The thing is
Dyson Sphere around a galaxy. That's just stupid.
Okay, a bit far. I'll continue. But I think that would make sense. They found their perfection and they didn't have to assimilate anymore. And so they are the Borg. They are still a slave race, but they are now living in harmony and perfection, and they just are in this, well, that's a spoiler for another show, but like the entire outside the Dyson Sphere is just like this was 130 million Borg cubes to build this, and they literally slopped in and fused, and they built this infrastructure, and there's just that would be I would accept that, and they've just been there for like 200 years, and why do we attack them? That would be great, and then one Borg ship comes to the new Starfleet command. It's like, oh, we haven't seen them in 120 years, and it's a Borg queen, and she's looking even more sexy, and it's like, oh god damn it, oh god, she's like, hello, I am the Borg.
Resistance is
optional,
accepted because I like a challenge.
we are bored as the Borg. We challenge you to a duel, Starfleet. So that I think that's a great plot point.
Chuck A says, what are the Packlids up to in the 32nd century? There you go.
Yeah, some real shit, man.
I am me. C throws in $5. I want the Voth to have taken care of the Borg. I think that'd be awesome, actually, with the Voth wiping out the Borg. That would be awesome.
But you can never wipe out the nanoprobes.
No.
That would be fun. You start them from the ground up. How do they go? Yeah.
Fat Produce, $5.
Thank you.
I would love to see an overarching plot where there is no malicious bad guy.
Yeah.
Like how the probe from Voyage Home wasn't malicious in intent. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what we're getting with season 4 with this scientific anomaly that they're, investigating. So, General Grievous, $2. Purge of 2800. Win Vista, when Win Vista uploaded to the collective. Vista. Yeah. All right, so that was my number 6, the Borg. That was a really good discussion too. So now we're moving on to Samuel's number 6. Resistance is sexy. Yes, it is.
Yeah, just to double down, I do think having no, but I had it. I was going somewhere. You said last thing that they said to you. Damn it! I'm gonna put a new poll on.
All right. Well, Sergeant Montgomery throws in $2. Could the Borg be wiped out in the temporal wars?
No, because they would have their own temporal tech. Well, they do already have their own temporal tech. When we saw it, they were the first to have time tech. Are you kidding? Do you not think the Borg Queen's ship is temporally immune? 100%, easily. So, new poll. I think this is, do you want to see the Borg in season 4? Yes? No? Obviously, depends how they do it, but gut reaction. Okay, my number 6? 6 is Admiral Vance. That single character person beats out so many of these other cool things. This guy was one of the top things of the season, hands down. He was a tremendous role, tremendous character, tremendous depth, and they used him appropriately and well. And as I joked very early when we met him, they should have him talk to them every single episode as like a, calling back to base. And they did, and it was great. Exactly used appropriately.
He wasn't a bad guy. There was no shenanigans going on.
Nope.
You find out he has a daughter and a family.
He was. I mean, it really is the actor though. He brought such an odd depth for a relatively stoic performance. He brought an odd amount of depth, kind of like Arnie brings an odd amount of depth to an emotionless robot. Sometimes you just click, So, Admiral Vance definitely. Hopefully, he'll get a story to his own. Hopefully, he'll have more interaction with everyone else. Hopefully, he will. Digital de-aging cut to him being younger and seeing a captain of a ship. Because I'm sure he was a captain before he got that. See him on a. Maybe he was the captain. Maybe he was the captain of the Voyager J. I would accept that.
I'd say he's made a lot of mistakes in his career, so.
Maybe an alien comes back to say, let's be honest though, they might play the he goes rogue because an alien's kidnapped his daughter because we know they're off the station, and then that's the story he gets. It's been played before, but seeing our top tier good guy go rogue, not in a bad way, just like he has to go do something kind of like Picard did in Gambit, I could enjoy that. So definitely much more of him, or at least exactly the same amount and as well used just throughout the entire season. I'll be happy. There you go.
That brings me to my number 5, Admiral Vance. Dumbass. So my number 5 is Admiral Vance. Just want to see more of the Goodmiral. I mean, we can't call him a Badmiral. Just saying. Really good actor and fantastic character so far. I love that there was no duplicity with his character. Like he wasn't working behind them, against them behind the scenes. We need more characters like this, especially in Star Trek, because that's one of the tropes with TNG and with the Badmirals. They're always got their own agenda. They're always doing shit behind the scenes. Captains are the good guys. Once you become an admiral, you kind of become an asshole. We need more good guys in Star Trek, especially with the way Discovery's kind of played Star Trek. So yes, let's see more Vance. Let's learn about his family. Yeah. Let's, now that the burn's done, he can go visit his family. We might be able to see them, see, his home. Like, there's a lot of potential there. More Vance, man. Advancement, if you will. Yeah. General Grievous, $2. He reminds me of an old Ben Wyatt from Parks and Rec. Don't know. Never watched Parks and Rec.
I'm just going to quickly grab some more water, so I'll see you in one moment. Pimp the poll, likes and super chats, Stuart. See you in a minute.
Yeah. Tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me. There's a poll, vote in it or some shit. I don't know. that he's not here, I can just do what I want to do. 156 likes. Guys, let's get up to 175. Let's set the goal for 175 likes. And, you know, the super chats are going great. You know, another 40 would be awesome. So if you guys don't forget the last super chat slot, we are on number 5 now. We got to hear Samuel's number 5 when he gets back. So, but yeah, he is the head of Starfleet. Yeah, he is the CNC, I believe. We need Trekyards in Star Trek Discovery. Definitely good. Aww, so nice. And why has he never had a real apple? There's an entire forest ship. That's a good question. Maybe real apples became extinct, so all they have is replicator patterns for them, and they can't plant replicated seeds, obviously. So maybe that's why. Just thinking out loud here. It's funny because I need a drink now too. Damn it. Yeah, guys, vote in the poll. Let's see how many people we got voting in the poll up here. We've got 65 votes. So if you're one of the people that hasn't voted yet, throw that in. I'll see what like 100 different people what they think about that. But it's pretty obvious what's going on there. And yes, hit that like button, guys, if you can. So, would like to see the Federation president. I mean, yeah, that would be awesome.
Hello.
He has aged a lot better than Brendan Fraser, I guess.
Yes.
All right, so Samuel, we're on to your number 5.
Excellent. My number 5 is... Let me check my notes. This picture doesn't tell me enough. Hold on. No, my number 4.
We need your number 5.
Ah. I missed out one thing, I guess. Oops. I guess I got number 9 wrong. So that was my number 5.
Stephen Mulvey, while he figures that out, Stephen Mulvey puts in 10 New Zealand, whatever they are. Nothing would make me happier than seeing in-universe proof that Discovery and Strange New Worlds are in a parallel universe, so they no longer wreck the continuity of other Trek. Amen. Amen. I totally agree.
So my number 5 is Vance. So my number 9
What was your 9?
was 31st century uniform tech refinement.
Oh, okay. So it's number 9, way back. Right,
yes, so sorry, my number 10 was more Narn and Linus, don't know why it skipped it. My number 9 then was, so it was the Burnham with the red uniform, like hoping it's refined, hoping the colour grading's better, hopefully we get a new version of the communicator and like a bit more of a advanced refinement of the stuff and not just looking a bit naff as it did in the taser, you know, refined it a bit. Didn't quite hit its stride.
Yeah. We'll probably see some advancements in that regard too. So.
And then my number 8 was Cronenberg and his new knowledge. My number 7 was Big Classic Things. My number 6 was History Pre-Burn. My number 5 was more advanced. So what's your number 4, Stuart?
Well, it's funny. Our number 5s are the exact same then. But hold on. I'll get to my number 4 in a second.
Okay.
Matt Boardman throws in $5. We were told that we needed to see some dystopian things to show that peace came at a price. So it would be nice to shift back towards the peace. Yes.
Yes. No, yeah. I mean, we've seen the fall. Let's see the rebirth.
And Aaron Morse says, agree with Steven, Discoverse needs to be separate. Yep. I've been saying that since day goddamn one.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, most people have,
obvious.
would. Yeah. Brian Fuller made a choice. It was a bad choice, and let's move on from it.
Bad call, Ripley. It's a bad call.
It was a bad call.
Sergeant Montgomery, $2. Any guess on the 32nd century human lifespan? Maybe 200 years? I don't know.
I think at a certain point we would opt not to live any longer. I mean, some people would, but it devalues life if you can live forever. So I think it would be limited to maybe 180. without any sort of degradation, and then you like.
Once you turn 180, they just kill you.
Oh yeah, just mass death. Yeah, just
If they go all Logan's Run on you, the little tristle in your hand. You're 180, you gotta die.
Yeah. See, it's tricky because when you say that, it's like, yeah, who would volunteer to die? But maybe there's but it's like genetic engineering. We made we made a choice to not upgrade people to be some more intelligent. So we could make a choice not to make people live longer, because arguably it's better to be more intelligent, arguably better to live longer. But we made a choice. So I can imagine as a society they agreed we aren't going to push human lifespan past 200 years as a rule. So I think there'd be a hard limit.
In Saba Nur says Picard's golem would be the exception to human lifespans. No, did nobody pay attention during Picard? He's still going to die at the same time he would have basically as a human. He will not live forever in this golem body.
He could
Can
have.
they reuse the golem body? I don't know, but that was the whole point. When he found out he was in the golem body, he was like, and they're like, no, we know you don't want to live forever. Relax. But people seem to forget that. He's an android now. He's going to live. No, he's not. So, sorry. Got to get that off my chest.
He won't be ill or physically feeble. In fact, he should actually be stronger in general. Maybe not super strong, but stronger. Although, given that Sung wouldn't... Sung designed the body for himself, so he wouldn't have given the body the no strength. So it's more of a deactivated feature. I think if Picard had to actually be... 8 times stronger than a human, the ability is there in the physical, or stronger. It's there, just not active.
In Saba we were responding to Paul, who said, well, if Picard is canon, human lifetime is functionally infinite. And I've talked to Paul about this, he means that you can just continually re-upload your consciousness into a new body if you wanted to.
Well, that's happened in Aliens, that has happened in the Star Trek world anyway.
Yeah.
And ostensibly, Dax, to some extent, is that idea, just not fully.
So, in Saba, I apologize. I know that's not what you meant now, but sorry, that's just one of those things that sets me off.
But no,
anyway.
I don't think you'd want it. I also think... I don't remember what sci-fi show it is, but I remember one show says, well, our medical tech can make us live forever technically. The human body, just the creation of cancer molecules can't actually be stopped. It can just be moved around, and so at a certain point, things happen in our genetic material that breaks down the body that is unstoppable. And so even though medically we push where we can sort of live, there's still a finite ticker that clocks down that you can't fight. I can't remember what that's for.
And Paul says, I know Picard is canon, I'm just riffing on the end. How do you know Picard's canon? I don't think it's canon. That's another alternate timeline thing.
Have you seen the Zhenhe as the most powerful ship in the fleet but has no weapons? So, and no escape pods, and no blinkies, and no... So how come the most powerful... And you can't say they could be new weapons because it has nothing. It's not that far in the future.
Anyway, on to my number 4.
Although briefly, because of how holograms are, they could easily have, Spock, Ethan Peck appear as a hologram and it be as close to conscious as possible, With holograms, it's sort of, you don't need to have people living forever to still have them in the story.
Yeah. My number 4, if
yes.
anyone's interested, is the Klingons. By all means, let's see what the hell the Klingons are up to. No reference to them. No, we haven't seen them. Are they going to look like disco Klingons? Are they going to look like real Klingons? What has happened to them? Have they become homogenized with the Federation? The one thing they were afraid of in Discovery. Everybody wants to know about the Klingons. I'm more interested definitely more interested in finding about the Klingons than the Borg, personally, and just to see how they look. Sure, in Picard, we saw the picture of Worf in episode 1. Worf looked like Worf. He didn't look like one of the Klingorks, as people call them. What are they going to do with Discovery? Because they've already established what the Klingons look like.
And besides, showing Worf is just as powerful as showing Pike in Discovery looking like Jeffrey Hunter. Yeah, but the Enterprise doesn't look like that, so it's irrelevant. It's a non-fact. Worf looks like that doesn't mean anything, unfortunately.
We'll see a mix. I wish they should have had a mix in Discovery, Devo. We've talked about that quite a bit. How they could make that work.
Well, they've sold all the makeup and costumes and prosthetics, Or at least they've sold all the costumes, and the prosthetics don't last, so, you know.
And Rebel 71, says, I'm more interested in the Cardassians. Well, there is a female Cardassian.
Yeah, captain.
I think she's maybe a captain or a president
Yeah.
of the Federation or something.
Well, I mean, the in-between. There's actually a Cardassian captain in Season 1 and the round table scenes, just chilling out. And there's a Cardassian in the Renegade Party, as part of the wherever the Emerald Chain was. And then, there's a hybrid, there's a half and half or whatever in the Season 4 as well.
In Season 4, she might be the president, looks like, or something. So,
we're
going to
find Cardassians. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm all for that. But Klingons are good. I had considered that. I don't think... I feel like they'd be so nervous to... Because arguably they should now look like Discovery Klingons. That's when you could justify them. They went all Puritan on us, and now they look weird. It should be another round. They should have introduced classic Klingons originally, and then now they look weird. Would have been weird, but acceptable. But yeah, I mean, just Klingons should look like Klingons should look like Klingons. Especially as we saw Klingons, we saw what Kahless looked like. He looked like a Klingon. He was from like 2,000 years ago. So 900 more years will not change how the Klingons look. Sorry.
Yeah.
At least Chronos-born Klingons. Oh yes, Klingons from Outpost 197 look a bit different after inbreeding for 400 years. Okay. They're from that outpost. They're a sub-breed. They're not... You know what I mean? Yes, but the homogenous normal Klingons will look the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, it'd be good. Klingons in Starfleet, sure. We'll go to Kronos and negotiate with them, cool. I can imagine... Actually, you know what? I can imagine they might be able to play that as a moment. Actually, Vance says to Burnham, you're going to Kronos now. The Chancellor needs a word with an ambassador. She's like, Klingons? And then they spore in, and then they look like normal Klingons. She's like, those are Klingons? Kind of like Bashir did in Trials and Tribulations, because they look like TOS Klingons. The exact same joke. And it's just like, oh yeah, they went through some stuff in your era. We don't talk about it. Like they could retcon it instantly. I think that would be acceptable. The DS9 approach. Those are Klingons? They look so weird. Well, your Klingons are weird. What can I say? So were TOS Klingons. So, yeah.
All right. What about your number 4, my friend?
My actual number 4. Ha ha! Yeah, it's alright. That's the picture. What's my note say? My note says... My number 4 is wider Federation, different quadrants. So it's somewhat... And you can see the Cardassian in this frame. Yes, the idea of seeing this grander Federation scope. We know there's still pockets existing around the galaxy. We know that the Indian dude at the start of Season 1, he had a Federation ship close by, which was out of range of the Starfleet headquarters. There were still people doing things in places. So actively having the Delta Quadrant branch be active, the Beta Quadrant, the Gamma Quadrant, the Andromeda Galaxy, being able to now travel to, the Ocampa homeworld and go to their base and see Federation officers there and just get a sense of the broader picture, which we now should have access to. A scene where all the relays get reactivated. Almost start the season where we started Season 3. It turns on, it's repaired. Whatever the guy's name... Sorry, I forgot his name. It's been, 3/4 of a year. He says, I've been tasked to rebuild the communication assemblies. We've now got all 198 working now. We've accessed the entire Federation network. It turns out we weren't alone. We have 5,000 ships still operating. They kept the flame alive. We're sporing out dilithium as fast as we can. We're transwarping them to the Federation base, and then we cut, and there's literally hundreds of ships of varying degrees, and Vance is like, we're gonna need a bigger office, guys. We're gonna need a bigger starbase. Federation's bigger than I thought, and like this big sense of community that'll just come along. Now, either that's growth through the season, which would be more fun, or this explosion in Season 4. Like, we have a Federation again. It was just dormant because every single captain kept the flag, kept the whatever. I can see there being a situation whereby there's now a president of the Federation in the Delta Quadrant. And it's like, ooh, because they had to, like, Battlestar Galactica, swear in a new officer, take charge of that area. Well, now you've got 4 presidents, 4 heads of Starfleet. Oh shit. Well, does R1 still have command because they were technically the first and the clean branch? Maybe. Are we going to form a democracy of Starfleet presidents? Don't know. Are they going to be renegades? We've talked about it previously. That collaboration of a federation is right there up with interesting things. They could fuck it up so easily, but I really want to see exploring those quadrants and those elements, those cousins come back together.
Yeah, it kind of ties in with my number, whatever it was, with the Delta Quadrant stuff. Belinda keeps pointing out that the woman in the trailer of Discovery Season 4 looks like a Denobulan. Maybe she is. And maybe she is a descendant of Phlox. Well, 900-year removed descendant? Really? How descendant is that? Why even mention it?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
We don't know how long the lifespan. The Denobulans do live longer, too, so yeah.
No, I think it's like 230 years, and he had like 26 children, so there is a lot of descendants.
Matt Boardman throws in $10.
Ooh.
Would be interesting to see them link up with parts of the Federation that have drifted from the core ideals as they've started to introduce their own ideals of Federation Charter into operations. Yeah, we talked about that in the last season with the burn.
Yep.
Little segmented pockets of Starfleet and the Federation that couldn't communicate with each other. Some might go rogue. It's an interesting idea, and that was our lead-in to Season 4 that we were speculating what Season 4 should be like. It's now that you have the ability, go and find out what's going on and bring the Federation back together, and actually have some battles maybe with some other Federation offshoots. I mean, it's a definite possibility.
I mean, you need to make sure that they were doing their actions because they thought it's what the Federation needed to survive, especially if every branch of the Federation thought they were the only branch.
Yeah.
Then all it takes is one slightly more zealous admiral, and we just happen to get a really good one. It's super. I consider it being a Season 5 storyline, assuming you get that. You know, have a rebuild, maybe one pocket, the transponder was like beep, 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 and they're like, ooh, we don't want to be part of that Federation anymore, turn it off. And they come like, hey guys, we don't want to come back to the party in Season 4, but we're actually like, we believe our charter is much better. Advanced reason. It's like, oh god. That ain't so good, etc. So yeah.
All right.
Cool.
My number 3. We're in the top 3 now. Actually, before we do that, 159 people here, 173 likes. We need 2 more likes to get to the goal of 175.
Fantastic.
But I've now upped the goal to 200. So, and honestly,
50?
another $50 in super chats would be a fantastic way to end this one out. Right now, Matt has the last super chat slot, so there is that on the line. We're into our bronze, silver, and gold right now. So,
which means we're going to want to know your bronze, silver, and gold in a minute. But actually, guys, tell us now. What do you think our bronze, silver, and gold is going to be? What do you think we value the most?
Look at the poll.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. So I'm the poll now, but do you want to see the Borg in Season 4? 50% yes, 50% no, which means, and you just ended it, which means 70 odd people said both. Fantastic.
We're not going to see many 50-50 splits, so I had to end that when I came.
Yeah. That's fantastic, yeah. So yeah, what do you think our number 1 or 2 or 3 is going to be, guys? What do you think we are most excited for? Or at least one, well, no, that's the wrong way. What do we want to see? Excited for is different because what they might do and what we want them to do is different. But
Insaba Noor throws in $10. Love what you guys do. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for loving what we do, and if it wasn't for you guys coming to watch what we do, we wouldn't be doing it.
Yes.
Well, we might still, but not as often.
Sure, exactly. And
we 2 or 3 specials a year.
the 10th anniversary special, and get the gang back together and get the original hosts. Oh wait, that's us. Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, we do this for you guys. You super chat for us, and we do so many contents and whatnot, and we're very pleased to do them. And those moments I get to show Stuart stuff he hasn't seen before, and the moments he suggests ideas, and it's like, oh, that's a story. It's pretty great.
So I am Misi says more in depth into the 32nd century ship tech. Yes, that's definitely something for sure. Turbo Lift Adventures.
Well, that's a spin-off. Trek Shorts, Turbo Lift Adventures.
Well, that'll be in the theme park when there's eventually a Star Trek theme park. The Turbo Lift ride.
Oh yeah, I heard that's having some financial problems, Stuart. I heard from my CBS contact. Why not happen in the end? I don't know.
All right, guys, we're at an hour 20 minutes, so we're winding down here. We got the last 3 here, so we're eager to hear your things as well. So super chat any ideas you want to see in season. You've heard some of our ideas. So what are something you guys want to see in season 4? And don't forget, we have our top 3 now. So it's getting good now.
Although we're only winding down if you think we're winding down. Because if you keep super chatting and commenting, we've still got the half an hour booking. So if you guys are interested in continuous conversation,
I'm sure we'll talk another 40 minutes on these last 3 because there's some really interesting things here. So at least on my end.
Well,
you probably have tribbles as number 1 because that's just stupid. Who would put tribbles on?
No, Borg tribbles. I want to see what happens when the Borg tribble hybrids that
Those are called gremlins, by the way.
Oh dear.
Anyway, let's get into number 3. My bronze place is the temporal agents. Maybe not specifically the relativity, but just the goddamn temporal agents that are out there protecting the timeline. There's been a lot of timeline shenanigans, and nobody's stepping in to say what the hell. So I want to see the ship. I want to see Discovery arrive somewhere and start investigating something. All of a sudden, the ship comes, and it's a relativity, and be like, guys, you're not supposed to be here, and yeah, there's a problem. We've talked about this many times because there's a lot of time travel shenanigans in Star Trek that never gets dealt with, even though there are supposed to be these temporal police out there policing the timelines. This is something that needs to happen in some form, or an explanation as to the Temporal Investigations Department no longer exists, which we could maybe get from Picard if the character that's interrogating Picard is the same guy from the Relativity. We might get that. So I'm definitely hoping for that because the temporal police was a fantastic idea. Even just the temporal investigations division, something like that needs to be done in season 4. So there you go. That's my number 3.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He has it for his number 1 or something, probably.
Well, no, it's real tricky though because they're in the past. Conceptually, at least the time department we know.
But they're monitoring the timeline. And
Yes,
not linear, so.
I know, but there might be a rule though, and I can imagine this might be the case. I mean, well, Daniels would be more the example because they were the 30th century.
Yeah.
I can imagine there might be a rule saying we don't look into our own future. Because if we did, they'd stop the burn.
Somebody always breaks the rules.
But then you get punished. And then you'll get mind wiped, So I can imagine that being the rule, because you're trying to keep the timeline consistent, but you're not trying to stop free will in the future,
The TVA, the whatever.
Yeah. No, for sure. I was picturing Owen Wilson on the Relativity. No, I agree. What is the current version of this? I can imagine that even the dilithium, fine, but I can imagine there might be a storyline where Burnham or the crew in general are said, okay, now we've got the Federation back running. We can reactivate the time cops. We haven't been able to use them for so long, and no one's read time tech for a long time. Although, didn't they say time tech was banned after Temporal Cold? Yeah, they said that, didn't they? Temporal Cold War,
yes,
time tech was banned. But we did argue that Cronenberg may be the guy that's kind of still doing something. But obviously, part of time travel can be going into your own future. So I can imagine, it would be fun to have a relativity story where they from the past go into the future and pull someone from
accidentally or something.
Yeah, exactly. And they're forced to go into their own past to help them solve a problem in the past.
Which links into Picard because that's in the past.
Sure. Yeah, Burnham appears in the season 2.5 trailer. Yeah, I mean, time travel is such. Once you invent time travel, it's impossible to uninvent it.
That whole time travel is illegal bullshit. Not everybody's gonna agree to that. And yeah, you sign the Temporal Accords in the year 3100. What if somebody invents time travel in 2300?
Yep.
They're gonna start time traveling around, being a dick. They don't know about the Temporal Accords.
Nope.
They didn't agree to it.
Nope.
You're never going to be able to lock down time travel and say that it's illegal.
No, but that's the point, though, isn't it? The time cops are doing the time travel fixes up until the point time travel is illegal, but because time travel is such that it's always happening, the time cops are always stopping it, and then it all becomes illegal, and then it's not a problem anymore because that's the past. Your team in the past are fixing the problems. You in the present have to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's confusing, but it can work. It's kind of a loop of fixing and non-fixing. But yeah, but at the very least, I can imagine temporal mechanics, like I said, making more of a joke team, coming up and saying, "Hey, X, Y, and Z." Yeah, no, for sure, but definitely in a Picard, etc.
So that's my bronze. We got 2 super chats. Going to read those right now.
Fantastic.
Ronald Anderson, $25.
Oof.
Thanks so much. I just love the show and can't wait for Discovery to come on. Yeah, I get excited for new episodes of Discovery all the time, as much as it lets me down sometimes, but I still get excited to watch them.
Ronald, which season was your favourite?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's probably the is it the starkest quality difference between a season of Trek 2 and 3? Because seasons 1, 2, and 3 of TNG incrementally got better. I feel like it probably is just the single biggest jump of quality between 2 and 3.
But let's say Discovery goes for 7 seasons, everyone's gonna be like, "Yeah, I didn't get good till season 3."
Yes,
because we've heard that before. We hear that with DS9, we hear that with TNG.
That's very
true. When you go back and
Enterprise.
rewatch them, it's like, yeah, well, season 3 is where it lost me though. But now I haven't gone back and rewatched it. Season 3 is good, but
that's where it got good for real. For those that kept watching.
Shut up.
Yes.
Anyway, but yeah. So.
But I mean, all these shows had somewhat of a small reboot. I mean, Worf being was a half reboot. The premise changed in season 3 of DS9 and season 3 of Enterprise. The premise changed in Discovery, and yeah.
I am Misi throws in $10. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I want to see a recreation of the Federation arc. Enterprise off-screen screened it for the most part and skipped ahead, so it would be a fun redemption to actually see the formation of a new Federation.
Do you know what he means?
Not specifically. No.
He means that in Enterprise season 4 end episode, we kind of see the sign of the charter, but then we cut away as soon as it even begins. He means actually go back and actually see it happen and embrace those bits. Yeah, but then time travel has been outlawed, so kind of hard.
Yeah. Even though everybody on Discovery and Discovery yourself is breaking the law by having time travel.
Well, they got a pardon, presidential pardon. But yeah, that's definitely a good. And I can't imagine we won't see Cronenberg saying, "Burnham, I need your help." How? Come through this door, and now she's suddenly back on the Enterprise, but or the TNG, she's in a TNG corridor, holy F. What? Okay. And now we're, something that...
I thought time travel was illegal. Officially, yes. However...
Well, Burnham, if you don't talk about it, it didn't happen. Okay then. Move it, because if you don't talk about it, who's going to know? If you can't scan for it, etc. And that could be great. I mean, I actually quite enjoyed the episode of Enterprise where they do go into the past, Archer and T'Pol, and it's like a literal hard cut between the sci-fi present to back in the past, and it's such a radically different episode. But I really like how they did it. That I'm envisioning the exact same concept, just in TNG, for example, and it's just like, oh, here we are.
Well, I am Misi said I meant the new Federation or occur in the old.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Wouter215 puts in €10. Thank you. I'd like to see Earth and New Vulcan rejoin the Federation proper, and for Earth to become Federation headquarters again. Yes. And that's Navarre now, by the way. But that's why he put. But Navarre.
I think I could see them. Maybe the end of season 4, assuming the vibe is positive, having them because now we know we've never seen it before, but now we know if you can connect a ship to the Discovery, you can spore with it. So they can connect the Starbase Starfleet Command to it and spore it in orbit of Earth, kind of like taking Earth space docks slot.
We're taking over, bitch. That's like an invasion, though.
I mean, well, they have to approve it, obviously, but I could see that being a nice moment to end the season. Say we're coming home, and in fact, maybe his wife lives on Earth, and it's like this is really a really sweet moment. I could see being good.
Well, I want to hear Samuel's bronze. What's in his third place slot?
I'm interested too. Let's see what I said. Ah, yes. More diplomacy and Star Trek values. Radically missing from the first 2 seasons. The point of decimation of the values we have. Obviously little bits here and there, but for the most part not so much. So this whole subplot we got of Vance negotiating with Wicked Witch of the East was brilliant.
What's her name? Can't remember. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. I remembered Emerald Jane. I think I get points for that.
No, that's easy.
Oh, okay. Well. Like these were really good scenes, and they were very well played, and they didn't need to happen, and you could tell she was doing it legitimately, was not a trick. You know, it felt really genuine, and his plea in her eyes, and you know, the dotted line they couldn't sign because of X, Y, Z politics. This was really rather, you know, this is what Phantom Menace could have been. Political intrigue done right. Obviously, they could have played it for too long and it would have ruined it, but it was well played. We need to see more of these positive. You don't need guns blazing. You don't need other stuff. You know, Navarre comes to the table and we have some hardcore political stuff.
Osira, thank you. That's her name.
Boom. There we go.
Thank you, Caleb.
You know, we have like I said, Navarre. We have Klingon. We have Kronos come to the table. Has some nice hardcore political stuff. This stuff's really interesting if well written, and they've upped the bar in those last episodes for some of these scenes, and just more of those real classic values. You've shown us the bright light. You've shown us you can do them. Do some more. It's important to me.
Perfect. Yeah, I agree. That's what Star Trek is, and yeah, that's one of the things. Getting more back into building the Federation, more exploration. Stop with just struggling to survive because we have no war. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, a new golden age for the Federation. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sergeant Montgomery throws in $2. Isn't it about time for the Andromedans to show up? Hell yes. Yes. Maybe that's what the gravitational well is. Maybe we actually make contact. That'd be actually an interesting way to end the season. So this whole gravitational thing has been building up just because somebody from another galaxy is exploring. And at the end, they show up, and it's like, hey, it's what we're all about, exploring and meeting people. That'd be great. There you go.
Yeah, and then the last shot of the season is the equivalent of the First Federation ship. It's not Cerberus. It's the what's it called? The big ball ship. There's a ball. Chirilian, something like that. It's,
for the First Federation?
Yeah.
Oh, it's shit. I can't remember. Viserius.
Yes. So imagine that being the last image of season 3 or 4. You know, it comes to the galactic barrier. And
Death Star.
And guess who it is? It's the same frickin' actor. He's back. He played
Howard.
Ron Howard, Clint Howard, whichever Howard it was. He was in Discovery, and now he's back. Baylock is back. They don't age because it's future. He started as a baby. Now he's an old man. Baylock's back, bitches. It's the BBB. Be afraid. Be scared. Be Baylock.
Bum, bum, bum. 9 more likes, get to 200, guys. 9 more people have to hit that like button.
Ooh, it's free. Do it.
And $30 would be a great number to get to.
Please.
Right now, Sergeant Montgomery has a super chat slot. So
very well.
We're moving into our number 2.
Ooh.
My number 2,
now,
silver.
Briefly, did this number 2 just miss out on silver, on gold, or was there a bit of a obvious winner and obvious second place?
There's an obvious winner. an obvious second place.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this didn't get shuffled at all, really.
Okay.
Um,
Number 2.
Number 2 is the new USS Enterprise. I just have a picture of the Armstrong here because it's the Constitution class.
Okay.
But I would like to know if the Enterprise got destroyed in the burn. If there is a new one, if they're planning on building a new one, maybe it starts off with a space dock scene where they're building a new Enterprise. Because it was the Federation flagship for a long time.
Wait, are you saying
it's
it's another Enterprise?
It is. I don't know what happened to it over the 900 years, if
Yeah.
it was still the flagship, but it'd be interesting to find out what's going on with the Enterprise. It could be it was in a different sector when the burn happened.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this before too, and they've had to survive kind of on their own or whatever. Maybe they're a little bit corrupted as a crew. Run into them, have to go. That'd be interesting though, like their descendants or whatever, right?
Well, a ballsy move, make it evil Enterprise. Hasn't been done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry, I got the Armstrong, but that would be the Enterprise probably. Who knows?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you could justify that. It's a constitution, but I mean, the Enterprise hasn't been a constitution for 900 years.
I know, but this is visually just
the closest to.
Pick the picture that would work. So yeah.
So the Enterprise. You want to see the Enterprise?
Yeah.
Okay. I can definitely see them saying it wouldn't make sense to the Discovery team, although they would get a kick out of it after the fact. They could say we have not commissioned a new ship in 50 years, Michael. The last ship was the Hummingbird, and it was a science, it was a cargo carrier,
Yeah.
But now we've got these supplies. We are going to commission a new ship. United vote by the council, symbolically.
And it would be good, because he'd be like, symbolically, we're gonna call it the Enterprise. She'll be like, why? Because the Enterprise was just one of the 14 Constitution class ships. Pike was the one that took over, and then she learns that the Enterprise went on to be the flagship of the Federation.
Yep. And your brother was on 3 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Because then you could literally say, yes, it's called the Enterprise. The symbolic, that name still holds true to many parts of the quadrant. Maybe not Delta or Beta, although I guess the J. And then you see a video slideshow of different Enterprises and different captains. You actually get to see Picard and Garrett and etc. Captain of J for lols. And then they commission. But maybe they say we're not gonna. Actually, I can imagine we are gonna reset. The last Enterprise ever commissioned was the Enterprise M. We think symbolically we're going to go back to 0. The USS Enterprise 1701, nobody A, B, C, or D. So it's now the Enterprise. Yeah, exactly. So, although that would be annoying because now there's 2 classic Enterprises, or there's 2 Enterprises, 1701. There's that and, or maybe 1701-1. Push it forward a registry, or
1701-1. There's a nice ring to it.
Or 117011. Bynar's Captain Bynar! The first captain's a Bynar. He's 4'1" and his guess who his second in command is, Stuart?
Who?
His Bynar friend. Because they're in pairs. So it's got to be his... Yeah, symbolically that could be really important, but that would also devalue Discovery a little bit, but that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And obviously they'd commission a new ship. This would be the baseline potentially, and yeah. It has to be very specific though. I think really only the way we pitched it would work. But I like the idea of it not being an Enterprise in like up 200 years,
Yeah.
Or even if the last Enterprise was the last time ship until it was retired, so it was a relativity class. How do you feel about that?
That'd be cool, actually.
Yeah, that'd be cool actually. And then we see like a visual of that's Enterprise M is a relativity class. And then it says here's a new one. Our first non-time ship in a long time. Yeah. Great. I like it. It's
Yeah, it's my silver.
Yeah, you kind of sold me on that. It did conceive to me. But yeah.
So now we're on to your silver, your second place. What has won your second place heart?
Ah, yes. Federation member worlds coming back together. I previously had said the grander universe, but this is specifically referencing Andor, Teleprime, Vulcan Navarre, Risa, you know, the most core races that we know and love, having them come back into the fold, be part of the Federation again, tell those stories, have us go to these planets, be able to see properly done versions of the aliens, which they're getting better at, would be lovely. Like when we went to Var, like we went to the not Beta Z, Trill. Like those were reasonably well done. Yeah, go to Beta Z, go to all these different places, or see them to know that this is how the core guys are doing. This is how important it is. And you can extend the core worlds to Cardassia Prime if you want to, still have it be to make sense. But that I think is important to see the family come home and work together again. And maybe we get like an influx of 10,000 Vulcans join Starfleet again. And then you get these great scenes of the Vulcans waltzing in, and they're like, "What shall we do, Admiral Vance?" And it's like, well, fuck knows. Vulcans are so many things, So yeah, lots of stuff you could do there,
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about that. That was part of the thing we talked about at the end of last season. Going into this season, seeing what's going on with the other Federation member worlds. They did say that, I forget the numbers exactly, but that the Federation reached a peak and then started dropping off again.
Yeah.
As far as member world went. So yeah, absolutely. Like now that the burn's not an issue, you can travel. By all means, let's go see what's going on out there with these. There could definitely be a lot of changes as far as their cultural, influences go, and they may be very different as a. Yeah, I like that.
Well, and this is one thing we were worried about, but we saw as they were trying really hard, is that yes, as soon as Trill had the potential to join the Federation again, it did. No ifs or buts, boom. 200 years without help, whatever, went straight back in. So, not that every race needs to be like that, obviously, but within 6 months we get a thing saying, because if you've been part of the Federation for 1,000 years and it worked for 1,000 years, why wouldn't you want to join back? The only reason it wasn't is because of the burn. Your post-burn, let's share resources again. Let's be that Federation again. So, boom. Now we've got maybe even the first scene is Vulcan and Andor all sitting around the table. It's like one of each of our most famous races, and it's like, oh shit, those are Klingons. Kronos is now a secondary member world. Holy shit, new Kronos, because Kronos blew up as well. Romulus blew up. Kronos blew up. Kazidioel blew up. Everything blew up. It's like, goddamn, Hobus, man. It was a galaxy-wide continuing problem. But yeah, just the core things to bring us back to a equilibrium. There you go.
Yeah.
Whew.
Mark Lawrence says USS Enterprise NCC 1701 Omega.
Yeah. Okay, Stuart. Guys, what is our number one? What do you think either of us, both of us, individually are most looking forward to or most want to see in Discovery? And I would love to see your number one in Super Chats right now. I'd love to get another 25 and 5s. That's only 5 people. Put in some of your things. I'd love
Preston
to see.
M throws in $10. Just got home from work.
Hey.
Damn job keeping me from Trekyards. Grr.
Oh dear. Well, you can always quit. Just watch Trekyards then. We've got enough backlog. If you watch us, 11 hours a day, 10 hours a day, you could still watch us for a long time. So just quit the job, go through the back catalogue. You'll be happy.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of us back there.
Although this is when you say, Stuart, that I do not speak for Trekyards, and Trekyards does not endorse this idea.
No.
Disclaimer.
No disclaimers here.
Oh my god.
All right. So yeah, super chat your what you want to see most of the season, guys. All right, so going into my number one, should be simple because you guys know me, you know us. My number one is ships, and more ships. Bring on the ships. Bring them on in high polygon. Bring them in beautiful lighting. Let's see different designs. Let's not see flying staplers. Let's not see Millennium Falcons with warp nacelles that aren't attached. Let's not see frisbees. Get some good designs here because some of these are a little bit sketchy, but just to see them actually in all their glory would be nice because we never saw that. They were in darkness, shittily lit They just looked awful. So ships. I want to see ships. I don't want to see alien ships. I want to see, you know, I can't even think of anything right now. I want to see alien ship designs as well. We love ships. We need more ships to talk about. Ships, ships, ships. Damn it. There you go. My number one. Very simple. It's Trekyards after all. It's the first thing that came to mind for my number one was ships. So.
Yeah, I get it. And obviously, we are seeing them in all their glory here. You can see them. They're well lit.
Mm-hmm.
It was high poly, so it was ideal, so you could see them in full detail.
Screen doing things.
Yeah, I this is one of those few times where, unlike the previous seasons, you can accept them being low detail because they're TOS-y and advanced-y and it's all in the hull. I just wish they didn't just have generic panel line plate texturing that looks and feels like generic panel line plate texturing. The Enterprise E looks sleek and beautiful and advanced. It doesn't have generic panel texturing. It has some some Maztecing, but it's very subtle, and it feels sleek and detailed. These feel simple and platey, which is the opposite of how they should feel for this sort of ship era. Yeah, no, I mean the ships. I mean we have plenty of designs here, very varied, very different, very interesting, and when we talked about them, we have very little to say on all of them. Turns out there ain't much to say, you know.
Yeah.
We love
Sergeant Montgomery. Have you seen my stapler? Milton from Office Space. Burn this place to the ground.
The problem with them up detailing them is that A, they're now in the books, so they committed full force here. I mean, the Discovery didn't get changed for 3 years, and that was going into the future. And Eaglemoss, I'm sure, is very quickly introducing these because they want to show support for the team. So these things are locked in as they look. Now we can see new ships, as in like new Pride of Fleet designs that will be more interesting. But I think these are locked in as the fleet because, like I said, this is they didn't do a book like this for the other seasons, at least not this way.
Maybe they start to in the 4th season, as part of my number one ships is start incorporating Sportech into future designs. Because it's not flawed anymore. We knew why it was degrading the mycelial network. It's been fixed.
God, yeah.
And now we know Book has the ability to use it. So we know there are people out there that can use it.
Well, anyone from his planet can, in theory.
Yeah.
From Quajon. That's cool.
Turd Ferguson, oh my fucking god. Milton caused the burn. Yes, he burned the entire place to the ground. I love it.
Oh.
Just over a stapler.
I'm frustrated because that's doubling. It's like doubling down on the turbolifts. I'm fine because Discovery is built around the Sportech. The fact that it still has to spin in some way and still release energy implies these ships can't do that because they would need to radically change their designs.
Well, that's what the new Enterprise would be. The first of the new Sporeline ships.
The spinning Enterprise is what you're asking for.
The Spinoprise.
I mean, thing is, that you're not stupid. These are ideas that are valid. They're just so cringe. But yeah, why wouldn't you give Spore Drive tech? It's literally... Didn't Vance say they can't refit the fleet, or they were refitting the fleet? Or was that the previous
They
season?
said they were refitting the fleet. That's the thing.
No, or
and that
that
never went anywhere.
But was that season 1?
Yes, that was season 1 of Discovery.
Did Vance say we can't replicate technology? Because they did mention it.
Maybe Vance did say that, but yeah, they did say they were going to redo the fleet in season 1 during the Klingon War. I don't know.
Yes, because the Nimitz can certainly spin. No, yeah, it's off.
Mark Lawrence, $5. That ring ship reminds me of the Makigami from Tenchi Mayu GXP. Okay, I'll take your word on that.
Yeah, it reminds me of an Ori ship.
Oh.
And Reverse Millennium Vulcan, like I said.
I skipped the 2 super chats. But Preston M, $5. On the topic of quitting my job, I get to apply for retirement from active duty on Friday. That's awesome.
Oh, congrats. Is this a case of where you'd like to leave the service, or
Yeah.
you just would like to do something else. Because I mean, you can still enjoy a job, but I can imagine they would want to rejoin for many years, and that's a hell of a commitment. Yeah.
Rich McConville throws in $5 and
Thank
says,
you.
"I'm retired and I give Trekyards my undivided attention." Good line, Prosper. Thank you. Appreciate that.
We make videos just for you. And Jordan confirms the guy with glasses, which is confusing. Oh, as the Cronenberg says they can't replicate the spore drive. Doesn't make sense. Happy to have it as a retcon though, because it's God tech. You know, I can honestly imagine that we might actually get to a situation where they actually run out of spores. Like they also can't make.
They created a whole new spore planet, remember? And then never talked about it again.
Yep.
Fucking stupid.
I do remember that, Stuart.
George Mangrum.
It's as if they threw out all the scripts that Brian wrote and had to invent the series on the fly, and then they like, well, we need to have an episode here. Let's just invent this. Cool. Yeah. Moving on.
George Mangrum, $5. My number one is ships also, but you guys left out whether Bajor joined the Federation. Who gives a shit? I honestly don't give a flying fuck about Bajor. I just don't care. Sorry.
I mean, of course it would. I don't see it as even being a really an interesting question.
In 900 years, yeah, they definitely did.
Yeah, give them 100 years of peace, and then boom, or 50 years. I mean, look how much the Federation did for them. I mean, everything.
Yep.
So yeah, I absolutely join the Federation.
MC puts in $5. Just arrived. It makes sense to me that the Alpha and Beta are under Federation control by the end of Discovery's run. Delta and Gamma could be fragmented. Yeah. I mean, potentially we have the ability to visit everywhere at this point. So. Yeah.
No, but I can imagine that their warp is so unbelievably fast that they can warp 13.997 and get to Delta Quadrant in 3 months. I mean, who's to say when they got full what do they say? We could power the entire sector and our entire fleet with just what the Discovery had, which also implies that Discovery, the dilithium is still as good as it was then as it is now. So, I'm sure they might be able to refine it. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to refine. I mean, Voyager found higher end dilithium in the Delta Quadrant that was better at reacting.
Yeah.
So they obviously have those informations. Why can't you recrystallize dilithium in a more advanced form? You just need the raw material to do so. Why not? But Stuart, my number one, my gold ranking is also the ships.
Dun, 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 dun. Really?
Yes.
So our number one and our number five's matched up.
Yes. My reason being, I love talking about them with you, and that's been a lot of our best content of the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Of the Discovery brand. So assuming they're not just these ships still, because we've already talked about all of them and ran out of things to say because they're very simple. The concept of new ships,
Did you even use the same picture?
Well, I sent you the picture, so use my picture.
Yeah, but you sent it to me forever ago.
I know.
Usually I delete this stuff, but I kept this one.
Well, yeah, it's a super high res one. I said keep it. It's like, yes! It's a really good picture. Yeah.
It's hilarious. All right, cool.
What is it? Fucking thank you, Eagle Moss, for doing this, because this is the best thing we've seen for any of them. No, yeah, they spent a lot of time budget conception on these. Hopefully they'll be developed a bit. Hopefully we'll see interiors. Hopefully we'll get. I mean, certainly, I was going to possibly say Enterprise or Voyager J as a subcategory, but I think this continues. Seeing more of Voyager J, like you said, seeing more of the Armstrong class, seeing new Enterprise, seeing science vessels, seeing it's such a core principle, and this is the single most blatant visualization of the fact they're in the future. Because I can imagine them having hollow. I would be shocked if the relativity comm badges also don't have projectors in them. They're that far advanced. Why wouldn't they have? I would have no problem being that as a thing. Whereas these are these are the future. That said, and I really hope they go down this route, I hope they explicitly have a point where they say all of our ships that we had in our location are all over 70 years old. We have nothing new, because Why would they invest time in designing new ships when we can barely function ones we already have? So I can imagine them designing, just like Discovery was a fresh refit, and it looked different to these ones as well. It had a different design style. It was different. Makes sense, but it was still different. I can imagine we might see them christening a new class of ship, either Enterprise or not, and it's another new aesthetic. It's like pushing the boundaries. We've had one guy on Deck 19 develop new starship concepts for the last 50 years. He ain't got to build anything, but he's been thinking, and so we get a really like nice hero ship, a la Excelsior. You know, the Connie is the Discovery. The Excelsior is this brand new big custom built future ship, and that's really nice build. That's a really nice model. And that's kind of what we go. So I can see that being a very distinct thing, and then we'll really get behind that. And they might build that as a practical set in the bridge or whatever. Yeah.
They're going to make a new ship, and they're going to call it the Burnham class because they have to. It's Discovery, and it's Michael Burnham. You know it's going to happen. In honor of something she does in season 4, she's going to save the day, and they're going to be like, we're going to name this new ship that we've been working on for months, the Burnham class.
Because you saved the galaxy.
That's how the episode is going to end. She's going to be like, oh, she's going to cry because she's so honored. Calling it now, Burnham class coming for season 4.
Or what if? What if she builds another Red Angel suit, because they're really easy to build, we know that. She goes to the 39th century and discovers that they name ships after her, and then we just get to...
the Burnham class, and the Stamets class, and the Tilly class, and... Ooh, the Tilly class. Get behind that, literally. You know what I'm saying?
Those nacelles, Stuart.
Oh,
For the first time in 2,000 years, they went back to oval nacelles. And for some reason they thought, let's go into Cage era, with little thingies on the front as well.
Oh, I'm fine with this. Trekyards, everyone. You come for the content, stay for the personnel.
I just know what Stuart likes. Stuart likes the things I just said. Spaceships.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe our number 1, same picture, and our number 5 was the same as well. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we started this, and we love this sort of stuff. Because you kind of do so much analysis of uniforms and comm badges. They're just new. Uniforms are really varied and really different and really, you know, they're really tangible. That's why I've done 6 years of a show. So, yeah.
Well, there we go, guys. 211 likes. Can we get 4 more to get to 215? And honestly, let's say another $20. Honestly, would be a nice number.
Yeah. Let's say
right now,
MC
MC
super chat sniping. You know.
Yeah, right now, MC has the last super chat slot with a $5 super chat. So if anybody wants to snipe in, by all means. But yeah, it's been a great live. This actually cheered me up on a rather shitty day for me.
As does happen quite a bit. And this is one of those nice ones where things you want to see, it's almost always positive in this context, and it was a good season to come off of. Obviously, our super chat goals have been met. We've had lots of likes. The polls were fun. You know, really nice to do this sort of stuff. And as I said at the start, we are going to do lives on the Prodigy season, on the Picard season, and the Stranger World. Same exact concept. But in fact, let me do a poll, because I like giving you guys the power. So, which top 10 are we doing next? Which probably is tomorrow. But let's give them the power, Stuart. Yeah.
Oh, okay. While you're doing that, MC throws in $5 just to everybody since me the elephant. I read that one already. Never mind. Caleb Horn, $5. Off topic. It looks like the rainforest ship could dock or merge with the ring ship bottom left. A fun what if in my head. Absolutely. That's a neat idea.
They aren't to scale though. Just disclaimer. But that is a cool idea. I could buy that. I mean,
it's like the warp ring for the Jedi starships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, so we'll be doing another live tomorrow. We're not doing a live on Wednesday, guys, because I'm going to be in Alberta, or on a plane, or in a car.
I mean, can I do a live from a plane? Hey guys, this will be the captain. I went the cockpit. It's Captain Foley, Captain Daniels, and we're doing Trekyards. I like Star Wars more. Okay, it's Fleet Yard today. Whatever the captain says. I'm co-captain Stuart. What? Co-pilot Stuart.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was a fan of yours and let you sit in the cockpit, just for the lol. That'd be a...
Yeah. So yeah, I won't be available on Wednesday. Thursday, I got to do this. I don't know if I'll be able to do screen caps. I think I might be able to. Otherwise, Samuel will, and I'll do a live late Thursday night probably. And Friday will be the review, which I'll be in a hotel room, but he's doing a poll right now for what we're doing tomorrow for a live. You guys have the choice. And Caleb Horn is now the last super chat slot, so one more like. There we go. 220. Get that. Awesome.
And yes, for Thursday, I'm very pleased to say, and I'll do a video about this as well, that we've got Marcus Churchill, who played Ensign Sam Harriman in Star Trek Temporal Anomaly, and Lieutenant Sam Harriman in Hours at Warp. He's going to be joining us because he's doing a 2-day shoot here at the studio, pardon me, over Thursday to Friday, which is great. He's doing all of the Star Trek parts of the Star Trek Stargate crossover film that we Indiegogoed. He's playing Harriman on the Enterprise E for that. We've got quite a lot of little things to shoot. I will spoil, we get to bring out the phaser rifle for the first time in almost a decade. That's going to be exciting. And then the Friday, Nim is coming down and we're doing a joint shoot. Hopefully, 4th time's a charm for the Doomsday shoot. 4th time's a charm. And so because he's staying overnight, because of the travel, Marcus will be on live probably 9 to 11 GMT, which is 1 hour earlier. Maybe just for an hour and a half, because, you know, he wakes up early, etc. And then I hopefully you guys will tune in, because he arguably is one of the most viewed fan film actors, like in top 10 fan films. I think we're like within a top 10 or top 15 views amount of views for a fan film. He's lead of that, so you know he's like someone who did a cool film, and I'd love to have people talk to him and ask him questions, and like we did with Nick Cook a few weeks ago. I'm really happy because he's got a family and kids, so him just taking the day off, the night off, isn't really something he can do normally, and we never have the option to do that, but it made sense here. He actually suggested it, so hopefully you guys will come to that and ask questions and talk to Marcus on Thursday.
I'm mad at you for putting Strange New Worlds in this poll. We're not close enough to Strange New Worlds to do it yet. Should have just been Prodigy and Picard. Damn it. Just saying.
But it means we can do another one when the trailer comes out.
Oh my gosh. So you guys really want to see Strange New Worlds? Top 10 things we'd like to see.
I'm shocked Picard is not doing that well in comparison.
I'm not. It's Picard.
Yeah, but there's things. Guys, seriously, vote now. 35 is not enough. Vote now. Which live do you want to see tomorrow? The power is in your hands. Picard Season 1, 2, Stranger Worlds, Prodigy. There's 128 of you. I want to see at least 50 people putting their voice in. Let us know, because Picard is going up. You can change. You can turn the tide. So vote now. Forever hold your peace.
Another 15 people, guys. I am me C's puts in $15.
Oh, thank you.
Instead of 15 people, but $15.
Okay.
A shape-shifting Starfleet ship would be interesting, like Booker's ship. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking changeling for a second, but then you clarified. That's more shifting rather than shape. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And Preston M snipes in with $1.
Ooh.
Super chat slot. So we're $5 away now from a perfect goal.
He's just snipe.
Another $5 super chat would be great. And we need 6 more votes to get to the 50. But 61% right now for Strange New Worlds. 23% for Trekyards Season 2. And nobody gives a shit about Prodigy at 16%. Even though Prodigy's the next one we're going to get, guys. On October 28th is when Prodigy starts. And then Discovery Season 4 starts on November 18th. So.
4th. And when is the probable trailer for these things that come out? When's
October 8th. 2 days after I get back from my trip. So.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh, Sean says Enterprise 20th anniversary today, no love. Didn't even occur to me. I might have suggested it if I remembered.
It was yesterday, wasn't it? The 26th? I think it was the 26th. It was the anniversary. But yeah, I never thought about it.
Maybe. We'll do that.
It's just Enterprise.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I mean, maybe next week. Very untimely, but maybe.
Yeah, just didn't work out.
Yeah. But I mean, you guys absolutely kicked ass here. I mean, as you guys know, we've had some bad months of income, which has kind of been tricky for us. And then Stuart's now had to deal with some big home. Like, I mean, obviously I had to buy a PC, fix a PC and do some things. You had to do this for your house thing. We had some sort of problems recently, and so this month has helped, and this live has helped a lot. Yeah.
General Grievous snipes in with $1.
And Aaron Moore says, more importantly, when is Low Deck Season 3? Well, he finished writing Season 3, 6 weeks ago, and they're already starting to film it, so next year, probably around the same time. Yeah, brilliant.
At the exact same time.
Yeah. Alright, we'll give you 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes to vote for which live next. The skews...
Hey, you asked for 50 votes. Don't be given 2 more minutes.
Well, no, it's good because
you got 52 votes.
It tells them how many minutes for the super chats as well. The sniping, 2 minutes. Just saying.
All right, 2 minutes. I keep holding you to that. I'm getting hungry. In Saba Nur puts in $10. Oh, wait a minute.
Yep, MC.
No, MC did first. MC, $5. Thoughts on the 32nd Century Time Ship episodic show that is similar to Marvel's What If? It could allow for some expansive stories without being tied down. 1,000% yes. Sorry for the language. Yes. I actually was talking to somebody a few days ago about a Star Trek What If series. So many possibilities.
I only have one word as a reply. Sold.
Yep. Done deal. Sign me up.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
In Saba Nur puts in $10.
That's a great name. Thank you.
The more we think that Strange New Worlds will give us what we've been wanting with the other shows, the harder people will be disappointed. It's true. Unless they deliver. That's the thing. Unless they deliver.
But it won't be as bad as Discovery Season 1. At least that.
Yeah, I think they've learned their lesson. I think I'm safe to say it will not be as bad as Discovery Season 1.
Yeah, I'm not as excited based on stuff I've seen. I'm going to keep it that way on purpose. I'm less...
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be very important to me. Same Prodigy, I'm kind of keeping a we'll see what happens vibe as well. So that I think I'll be pleasantly surprised. Stranger Worlds, I think I'll be pleasantly not disappointed, but also not impressed. Like, for the art design, I mean, anyway. I quite like art design. Yeah. Alright, guys, so there were 60 votes. See, guess Stuart got 10 more.
8 more, because I said 52. Pay attention.
61 now, 9 more. So, the winner of tomorrow's live. And you went against the captain's wishes. He wanted Picard, and you got all Prodigy, and you guys just no.
I thought Prodigy would make sense. It's the next one coming up, as far as chronology.
You guys said no?
We can do it the week after. We're still doing Prodigy at some point, so fuck it.
Prodigy, 16%. Stranger World, 65%. Picard Season 2, 19%. And that is varying between 21 and 19. Okay, we'll see you guys tomorrow for Stranger World Season 1. Top 10 things you want to see. I really enjoyed this, Stuart. Good to see you. Good luck with the rest of your insurance bullshit.
Well, tomorrow's going to be packing for my trip. Because I leave early Wednesday morning. So.
Well, yes. And I guess some little bit of filming as well.
Yes, absolutely. Sure, whatever.
Get a little bit of...
General Grievous, $2. Don't jinx it, Sam. Now you've done it with Strange New Worlds.
Well,
and on that note, we want General Grievous to win that last Super Chat
We
slot,
do. So let's go food. Until next time, until tomorrow, he's Cutter Foley.
It's Commander Cockings.
Bye, guys.
Tomorrow.